This is Coach Lee with my exbackcoach.com, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about what makes an ex want to come back. Because a lot of times we get caught up in trying to get our ex back, trying to make the relationship work, telling them how we feel, and really it's very important to actually know what motivates an ex to want to come back to you after they've broken up with you. Take a second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more content like this that can help you get your ex back, can help you with attraction, relationship dynamics, and dating. So one of the main things that will make an ex want to come back is attraction. And I'm not necessarily talking about physical attraction. As a matter of fact, usually that's already there and that's not something that's just going to go away. And so usually it's emotional attraction, which is an interesting combination of intellectual and emotional attraction. But basically there's different kinds of attraction. We have physical attraction, intellectual attraction, emotional attraction, and even spiritual attraction. And those things all contribute to each other. They exist in different proportions. Obviously that would be the case. But usually a breakup is caused by a loss of emotional attraction, because the physical attraction is usually there right away, or we don't get into those other things, because the physical attraction has to be there when we meet, or else we don't go deeper. And so that's usually not what causes a breakup. It can, but that's usually not the case. Usually it's emotional attraction falling. So what would motivate an ex to want to come back after they've broken up with you would be a resurgence in emotional attraction, so that they now find you emotionally attractive again to close to the same level they did before they broke up with you, or at least considerably higher than what they felt at the breakup. And it lasts long enough that it can get them over their desire to stick with the breakup, which will exist because it was a difficult thing for them to do. And so they're kind of patting themselves on the back and they don't want to go backwards. They don't want to get locked back into a relationship that they wanted out of. And so that has to be dealt with, and emotional attraction has to be high for long enough to get them to come back. And things like no contact, radio silence, and doing some of the other strategies that I suggest in my videos and at myexbackcoach.com and in my emergency breakup kit, which you can find a link to in the description below, will help to rebuild emotional attraction and reattract this person. But it has to be that attraction has gone up and they desire you again. They want to be with you again. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that it matters how much they feel about their ex, that if they can convince this person how much they love them and want them back and how much they will change and how the future will be wonderful, that can get this person back. In fact, one of my coaching clients could not understand why, though he told her he loved her repeatedly, even interrupting her while she was trying to explain herself, he couldn't understand why she didn't want to come back after knowing how much he loved her. And I said, dude, it's not about how much you love her. It's about how much she loves and is attracted to you. That's what would motivate her. She's not motivated by how you feel. That is your reason for being motivated. Her motivation is how she feels. And the same is true, obviously, when you reverse it. If your ex is a guy and he's broken up with you, his motivation for coming back or staying away is based on how he feels and what he wants. So that's where your focus should be. Is if you're trying to get this person back, you should be working on yourself and doing the strategies that I suggest in a lot of my other videos and at myexbackcoach.com that will reattract this person. Your movement toward them is not what will bring them back. It's their movement toward you. So attraction is a huge reason why an ex would be motivated to come back. Next, your ex needs to see that there could be a future with you. Your ex needs to see a future with you. And so there can be a lot of details that could make them think that maybe there's not a future with you. And it could be that their parents are vehemently against you for some reason, that they don't want you two together. It could also be that you are in a long distance relationship and this person says, I'm just not going to be able to sustain this anymore. I don't feel the same things I felt because we're so far away and we don't get to see each other very much. Unfortunately, I have coaching clients who've only seen the person that they were dating once in several months of dating. And so obviously if you're not there eye to eye, face to face, if you're not able to be physical with each other, it's going to fade the relationship. It's difficult to have a relationship with someone where you only exist as words on a screen or if you only exist as a voice on a screen, it's just a very difficult thing to do. So make the effort to bridge geography if possible. Long distance relationships are difficult, and I do have a lot of clients who are in those. Fortunately, my emergency breakup kit has some very good things that can keep those alive and can help bring two people back together who are that far apart. But this actually all comes back to attraction, because if they don't see a future with you, that actually affects their emotional attraction towards you, because they begin to see you as something that is maybe short term. They begin to magnify some of the other issues because they don't see a future with you, or they doubt a future with you. And so the other issues become so important that they finally basically throw their hands up and say, I don't know that we have a future, and with all these issues, I'm no longer attracted to you. I just want out of this. And it can be a blindside. It can hurt horribly when that happens, because most of the time the other person does see a future. There's usually one person in a relationship who is focused on the future, and everything that happens, be it a date together that's really good, a wonderful experience, one person is taking that and thinking about the future with it. Can it be sustainable? What does this mean to our future? The other person is just thinking, we had a great time, I'm looking forward to the next time. That's usually the case. Usually both people are opposites in that. And the one person who's looking toward the future is sometimes just too much in their own head, too analytical, and they can even cause the relationship to self-destruct. And that's unfortunate. However, those people can be gotten back, and there are things that can be done that can help to minimize that and make the relationship one that can last going forward. So another thing, and what I'm going to wrap up with, is that if your ex is going to come back to you, they have to feel free. And don't just gloss over that. This is actually very important. If someone feels that you trapped them, that you were very jealous, that you didn't like it when they went out with their friends, or that you were always asking where they were going, who they were with, why they were doing it, you questioned their motives, you always wanted them to be with you only, you pouted when they went out with their friends or when they went with their family somewhere or just weren't with you, you consumed them, you could not stand to be away from them. It was day after day after day as though you were trying to just get more of them and bring more of them to you, and it was a constant fight because they were trying to have a little bit of a life outside of you. That can make it very difficult to get your ex back, because they feel like that they would be going into entrapment, that they would go back to the cage. And one of the reasons that they probably left is because they felt so trapped. They felt like you were suffocating them, like you would not let them live, but that they seem to only exist for you, which might sound a little bit romantic, but it's not reality. People need freedom. And though I'm not sure who said this, it was some philosopher of the past who said, you should love someone so that they feel free. When someone feels free, they don't feel the desire to escape from you because there's no need. And so that's why being someone who is confident, who is not jealous, is a very attractive thing, because people don't feel the desire to run away, because they're not feeling clamped in and they're not feeling that they can't go do things. So that's why it's so important that you should focus on helping the person you're with feel free. They're less likely to leave, and if they do leave, they're more likely to come back because they don't feel like they would be entering into entrapment or a cage again. And so that's why when you are broken up with, I strongly encourage you not to react as someone who wants to trap the other person, but instead to respect their decision, to leave them alone, to give them the breakup, not to fight, not to argue with them about it, to let them feel like they are free. If they feel like they are free, that is a good reflection on you, and it's something that can help get them back. But it's so important that they feel free in order to come back to you. That's part of that motivation. If they are attracted to you and they see that there could be a future with you and they feel that they are free with you, they are more likely to come back. Those are some of the things that motivate an ex to come back. All of this orbits the idea that there is a prize and there is a seeker, which is something that I talk about in some of my other videos and at myexbackcoach.com. And you want to be the prize. Doesn't mean that they can't also be the prize, but you want to make sure that you are a prize that they are seeking. If it ever becomes imbalanced to where they feel that you are more invested in the relationship than they are, then they start feeling that they are the prize and you are the seeker. And everyone wants their own prize. I want my prize, you want your prize, and if you're trying to get your ex back, you see this person as the prize that you are seeking. You also need for them to feel that you are the prize. That's why you can't overinvest, you can't over-pursue, you can't make them feel trapped, because that would show that you're not confident in yourself, that you're afraid that if they get out in the world, they will find someone better than you and leave you, which is not how someone who is a prize would behave, act, or think, or feel. So it's very important that you see yourself as the prize in order for them to seek the prize. And someone who is the prize would not have to be over pursuing and begging and pleading. They would stay back and let this other person come to them because they know that they're the prize and that the other person will begin seeking. And ideally in a relationship, it would be kind of a 50-50 thing, though I do encourage people who seek my coaching for dating relationships that you try to pull back to where you have a little bit of the majority, so that they are initiating texts more than you a little bit, they're initiating calls more than you a little bit, so that you can maintain that prize level and keep them chasing, seeking, pursuing you, because they are less likely to break up with you when they're doing that. As a matter of fact, they're far less likely to break up with you when they're doing that. And so that's another thing that motivates an ex, is that they will see you as the prize that they are seeking, and they won't feel that you are more invested in them than they are in you. And so really getting that into your mind, into your focus, and just using that as a guide for all the things that you do will help you get your ex back. And there are other videos I have that talk about some of these things, why an ex might leave, if you really want your ex back, why the no contact rule is so successful, and several other videos talk about this type of thing and really get into the nitty-gritty details of it. But if you're wanting to know why an ex would come back, what would motivate an ex to come back, there's a few things that I've mentioned so far. One is attraction, that they feel attracted to you again, and that's usually emotional attraction. That's what causes them to leave and can cause them to come back. The next is if they see a future with you or not. If they start to be able to see a future with you again, which attraction really helps. If they're very attracted to you, the other issues that make them think maybe there's not a future go way down as far as importance. So if attraction goes up, the value they put on those issues goes way down. That's why someone can be in a long distance relationship for a long time and fine driving many hours or even flying to see this person. If the attraction's high enough, it's no big deal. But when attraction goes down, all of a sudden, all that time having to travel matters and they don't want to do it anymore. So that's why attraction is so important. So the third thing that I mentioned was that your ex needs to feel free, that they are free when they're with you, that you don't trap them, that you don't keep them from their friends, that you don't make them feel guilty if they don't want to do everything with you or spend every second of the day with you, and that they haven't become your entire universe as though you're almost obsessed with them, which is an unhealthy thing. And so if they feel free, then it's much easier for them to come back to you, because a free person does not feel the need to escape. A free person actually stays closer to you than someone who feels trapped and finally gets the opportunity to leave. And then the next thing that I mentioned is that your ex needs to feel that you are the prize and they are seeking you. And if that ever gets out of balance to where they feel that you are more invested and that they are the prize and you are the seeker, and that they don't need to seek you because you're not the prize, and that could be because you're acting like you're not the prize or demonstrating that you're not the prize by a lot of the things that I've already mentioned, like making them feel trapped and showing jealousy. If they feel that you are not the prize, they won't be seeking you. All the things that you do need to be centered around believing and knowing that you are the prize, and that this is how a prize would behave. A prize would not be begging or pleading. A prize would not be making their life's focus getting this person back. So it is difficult, but tell yourself, I'm the prize, and then act like the prize, because that's what we need your ex to see for them to want you back. Get more information on my emergency breakup kit. There's a link to it in the description below, and there's more information at myexbackcoach.com. That's myexbackcoach.com. My emergency breakup kit is a guide to getting your ex back, and it deals with things like this, and it gets far more strategic and detailed. myexbackcoach.com and get more information about my emergency breakup kit. And you can schedule a coaching call with me at myexbackcoach.com, and I can help you tailor a roadmap to getting your ex back. This has been Coach Lee with myexbackcoach.com. Thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this.